Big fans, big fans.
Oh, really? I'm big fans of you.
Watch every video.
I'm blown away because I'm such big fans of your work. I'm so excited. I loved Bad Boys for Life.
Thank you.
And I'm so excited about what you guys have coming up.
Oh, thank you very much.
So I just wanted to, so I have to say, you're directing not just one, you guys are doing great. You're directing two iconic female superheroes. You got Ms. Marvel and of course the upcoming Batgirl movie. Now we know they're both spunky and determined, but how would you say Kamala and Barbara are different?
Well, you know, obviously the thing is that there are two young women who all of a sudden are on a mission and are learning and growing and you know, becoming a superhero. But it's different in the sense that, you know, they're from a bit different universes. You know, Kamala Khan is in this dreamy teenager, younger, more colorful vibe, and Barbara is in this Gotham, darker Batman world, you know, and we were inspired by Batgirl in the animated series. So that's sort of the homage that we try to do in that world.
Oh, that's great. That's so cool. You know, also you directed episode 1. I've only seen the first 2. I'm very excited to see the other one you directed, but there's this insane animation over the live action, like these doodles. Like how involved were you guys in creating all of that?
Yeah, the animation, it's like the comic book is like gold for us. It's so vibrant and colorful, and we just love the aesthetic of a comic book. And we were like also enormously inspired by Into the Spider-Verse. That's, you know, we were thinking, imagine if we can make a live action version of that. So that's where our inspiration for animation came. But it was important for us to get inside of Kamala Khan's head and really portray her dream world and her fantasy. And we were a bit afraid that, you know, Marvel wouldn't accept it because it's totally different than all the other shows.
It was not in the script or anything. So that's why we were
really?
like, okay. No, it was not there. And we thought, okay, we're going to have to try to convince Kevin Feige and Marvel to allow us to do that because you don't have that in the other MCU shows or movies. So we did a whole presentation, you know, a whole dossier with YouTube videos and explaining why it was so important for Kamala and for the story and that world. And surprisingly, they said, yes, go for it. They say also don't go overboard. Don't do it every 5 seconds. Stay true to the story, the character. And yeah, that's how it became like that, you know, so.
Oh, it's so unique. I think you've captured it perfectly.
Thank you.
And also Avengers Con.
Yes.
You guys are really going to blow everybody away with that. I was, you know, in the press conference earlier today, they were talking about how everyone was coming over from No Way Home to come see what you built.
Yeah, exactly. It was just the greatest set we've ever been on. You know, it was designed with Chris Glass, production designer Robrecht Havert, our DP, and it was just, you know, we were taking selfies all the time and you know, playing with all the toys and all that, and then the producer had to grab us and say focus on the directing, you know. So it was just next level, and it was also a big homage to the fandom. You know, I mean, fandom is what makes all those movies and TV shows great and those characters great, and I hope that that they will enjoy the homage that the respect that we pay to them, and yeah, that was just next level.
Well, I love that Kamala is a fan. Like you really feel that she's like one of us.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So,
yes.
What do you hope that fans recognize about her and see in her when they finally get to meet her this week?
Yeah, it's you know, Iman Vellani, the actress herself, is also a gigantic fan of Marvel and then like a Marvel expert, and like Iron Man is a favorite movie and Kevin Feige her idol, so it was like super parallel with Kamala Khan, and it's like, you know, it thinks like it's impossible to be. She was like, it's impossible to be one of the Marvel.
No, yeah, an actress in the MCU, and all of a sudden she's now an actress there playing a superhero, and that's like the parallel story of Kamala Khan, you know, aspiring to become a superhero, looking up to Captain Marvel, but not thinking that really is going to be part of it, and all of a sudden it happens. So it's just you know, it's a love letter to the fandom of the whole world.
That everybody can be a superhero.
Exactly.
Oh, I love it. You guys are MCU directors.
Oh yeah, it's we're MCU fanboys as well, so the luckiest fanboys there is, I would say.
Oh, it was so great meeting you. You guys are awesome.
Thank you very much.
Awesome.
Likewise. Peace.
So Ms. Marvel obviously is awesome, but I just want to get a feel for you as a comic book fan. Who is another favorite superhero of yours?
I mean, Iron Man, certainly within the MCU, or
Anywhere. I'll take anyone.
I'll keep it within the MCU. I'll say Iron Man. I really love Iron Man. Yeah.
Tony Stark's awesome.
You know, he's just got the charisma, and I think, you know, yeah, I've talked a bit about this, but Iman loves Iron Man as well, and I remember talking to her early on a little bit about just the looseness with which Robert Downey Jr. approached that performance, and how lived in it felt, and how that's so much of what made that first movie so special. And I just feel like she inhabited Kamala in such a similar way with such an effortlessness, you know?
Oh, that's awesome. That's so cool to draw inspiration from other MCU performances.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I mean, that's one of the goats.
Well, you know, Hollywood is making a lot of strides with representation these days, but also, of course, South Asia has a booming entertainment industry as well.
Yeah.
So how would you say that Ms. Marvel brings these two industries together?
I really hope they will. I mean, I definitely already feel it and see it in social media that there's such an excitement for this character over there. And I think it's going to really have an impact on, you know, young kids, young women in particular, all over the world. But I really hope from South Asia in particular.
Oh, that's great. You know, speaking of women, in episode 2, which you directed, one of the 2 episodes you directed, we focus a lot on Kamala's mosque and both
Yeah.
what she loves about her community, but also what she thinks could maybe be a little better.
Yeah.
How is it filming those scenes?
Yeah, I think I mean, there was a great deal of responsibility we all felt to get those scenes right and make them feel lived in and accurate, but also part of our bright, vivid superhero world, our Kamala Khan world. And so I think there were always cultural consultants on set.
Oh, great.
You know, and not only on set, but during prep, they really helped us, you know, prepare and craft these sequences. Like Eid, like that sequence was really a collaborative effort between us all on the creative team and these cultural consultants to come up with what that could look like. And Eid is a perfect example because it's based on, you know, what we were told it could feel like, but it was of course dialed up to an 11. It was like a little bit extra than it probably would be in real life. And I think that is necessary for the sort of fantastical element of the show.
Well, also, speaking of fantastic, I love Kamala's powers on this show, and she uses them quite a bit in episode 2. How is it filming those sequences?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of what episode 2 is about is her trying to figure out what her powers even are and where they come from, right? So our approach to filming that whole montage was to try a little bit of everything. We probably shot twice as much as is actually in that montage, because we ourselves were trying out, well, what does it look like when she does this? And what does it look like when she does this? And, you know, there was always written into the storytelling and the script, this moment where she watches Bruno play a video game and has that light bulb idea that, oh, maybe I should use this power to create platforms that can help me levitate and ostensibly like walk on air.
Just like a video game.
Yeah, basically like the Donkey Kong moment is kind of what we called it. That was always there, but everything else was a bit of an experimentation between, you know, us, me, the DP Carmen, the visual effects department, they were completely extraordinary. And then Iman herself, who had a lot of ideas about how she thought her hand should go and how it should move and how it should inhabit these powers. And so it was a process. It was an ongoing process, much like the way for Kamala, it's an ongoing process to figure out what's going on.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Also, I absolutely love her parents on the show, and I'm very close with my parents. What do your parents think of you working on Ms. Marvel?
I mean, they're so excited. My dad is so excited if he just like can Google my name. So anything that makes me Googleable is like some sort of achievement in his mind. My mom is just happy that I can pay my mortgage.
That's great. That's very parental responses. I love that. That's so great.
Yeah.
So finally, I just wanted to ask also, what are you the most excited about fans to discover about this show that maybe they're not expecting?
I really think it's about the actors and their performances. I mean, they know these characters from the comics, but they don't know how these actors inhabit them yet, and I hope they and I know they will fall in love with them that much more, because I think each one of these actors are so perfectly suited for the role that they were cast in. So I'm really excited for them to get excited about it.
Oh, fantastic. I really enjoyed your episode.
Thanks. I'm glad you enjoy the show, and hope
Oh,
everyone
I think it's a
does.
great show.
Yeah, it's cool. Cool. Thanks.
Bye.